Welcome to the show.
This guy got a mistletoe belt on.
Gosh, that is bad.
The whole plane smells like weed.
Those were the days.
It's a joke, you idiot. Looked in the mirror, I'm like,
Good old innocent fun. Welcome back, everybody, to Troublemakers, the podcast where each week we bring on a guest and they tell crazy stories about their lives. I'm your host, Dylan Krasinski, coming to you from a sweltering day in Astoria, Queens. It's a hot one. But with me, as always, is my wonderful co-host, recently injured, but he's here and he's ready to have a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ray Zawodni.
Thank you so much, Dylan. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And more importantly, I want to thank everybody that's been checking out Troublemakers podcast, whether you are watching full video episodes on YouTube or you are out there listening on the audio streaming platforms or just watching shorts and reels that Dylan cuts up for us. We thank you for doing that. You can do us a huge favor for bringing you all of this free content. A huge favor you could do, also free to do for you, is you can engage with us, man. Please leave us ratings and reviews on the audio platforms. Give us a share and on the YouTube, the full video. Give us a comment. We just want some engagement. I will tell you this: if I see any bad reviews or any negative comments, I'm not going to be thrilled about it. And if you could see here, I have a dislocated shoulder. How did I dislocate it? I did it to myself because I accidentally left a negative comment. So if I'm willing to do this to myself, imagine what the fuck I'll do to you if you leave a bad comment. Anywho, got a fantastic show today.
Hot show today. First time on the pod. Excited to have him. Good friend of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, Napoleon Emill. Woo! Get into it!
Those window, like a couple of those window AC units in my apartment, and because the building's so fucking old, when I like turn the AC to a certain amount, like all the lights flicker. Like it's like,
oh, dude, that's been happening here.
I feel like that's every like New York apartment. As soon as you turn the shit on, it's like slight flutter.
They gave us like, there's like not enough electricity for people in fucking 2024.
Yeah, you're one.
I feel like it's like your apartment just signed like.
This dude really needs to use a fucking toaster right now.
Dude, another microwave? Come on, we're good.
Like it's 4 a.m, bro. What are you doing? Just rolling his eyes at you.
That's like the one thing I can't do in the summer is I can't sleep hot, man. Like I will go bankrupt with like Con Edison on my bill to like not shut off my fucking air conditioner for like a minute.
Yeah.
They send out all those advisors. Have you ever got that email where they're like, shut it off between 2 p.m.? It's like, we're comics.
They're like energy saver. I'm
Pisses
like, yeah.
We're comics. We're sleeping then. Like 2 p.m.
That shit is like, this is just like, it's like they send it to everyone.
Yeah.
Dude, every time I get those, they're like, hey, make sure you're aware and conserve your, energy and all that stuff. Turn your ACs off during the day. I'm like, dude, what about all these stores like fucking Best Buy in the city that just pumps AC, has the doors wide open? That is a waste of energy. It's crazy.
Everybody buys online. Turn them shits off.
That is fucking true.
Damn, dude.
Best Buy now, you go there and like I remember Best Buy was where you would go to buy like DVDs, CDs, all that shit. And there is just like it's one dude trying to like sell you a cell phone plan now.
Yeah. Dude, if you go to the Best Buy in Union Square though, it's big.
It's good.
There's a lot of dudes working.
I bought a phone from there a couple years ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Are you a video game guy?
I mean, on my phone, not really. I don't have a system or anything.
Okay. Me neither, but I'm in the dude, I might sell some sneakers, and I have a drum set at my parents' house I might sell so I can buy a PS5 so I can play college football.
That is like the most college mentality I've ever heard. Like
well, you know what it
college is? Prioritizing of your fucking time.
I feel like I have the money to do it, but I'm like, it's kind of a waste of money.
That's why you got to sell the shit.
I want to... I'm out on the corner.
You do or you don't have the money?
I have it, but I feel like it's a waste of money to buy it.
It's not. He's not liquid. It's all in drums, dude.
Yeah.
It's all in drums.
I got the money. It's just got to sell some assets,
Also, do you drum?
I used to. Like I played guitar and like guys would come over and we'd like play like.
Well, which is it, guitar or drum, bro?
Both, dude. Come on, I'm a little fucking musician savant.
Are you good?
No, I'm not. I know like one. It's always like the.
Oh, but you do beatbox. It sounds like that's pretty good,
dude.
man.
All right.
So 3 instruments, dude. My mouth and the guitar.
Can you play
And the
instruments?
drums.
And the drums.
I feel like you might be a secret good singer.
No, I'm not any of that.
Really?
Nah, if I was a good singer, everybody would know. I would do that instead of this.
That's the thing about comics. No one has a hidden talent. All
I
comics
feel
are
like there's comics that have hidden
know.
talents. Like that's what, like usually the ones that do improv. That's because they'll sing, dance, and that. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think I there's nothing that I would say I'm excellent at.
Really?
Like a secret thing. Like I can't juggle.
You're an athlete.
I could barely. I'm in a fucking
Yeah.
sling from playing flag football. Clearly, I'm not an athlete.
I mean, an athlete though.
yeah. The
don't
loosest
down your-
definition of
don't
So
the
down yourself.
what's the
He's an
exact
athlete
injury?
right here.
Where did this fracture or break occur?
Fast hand jobs.
fast hand jobs. I dislocated my shoulder
Okay.
on like a obviously it's flag football, so it was a non-contact play.
I mean,
It was
even flag football is still contact.
yeah, it was me contacting the ground, like just like full sprawl.
Nobody contacted you before the ground?
diving. No,
That's
It's
what
all
they say
me.
about the NFL.
Oh,
No
you guys are
contact
just running
injury.
out to the field?
Yeah, we were I tripped on the banner we were running through that said "Go Team." Dude, I was trying to I dove for a flag, like to pull somebody's flag, and he was moving.
Oh,
too
you was
fast
like
for
leaving
me.
it all on the field.
Dude,
Yeah.
You can't call him that anymore.
Oh, the flag.
You dove for a guy? You got to
but-
be.
Dude, it was one of the worst pains I've ever. Like I've broken arms, I fucking fractured ankles, fucked up my knee. This is the worst.
Yeah.
I've had like shoulder injuries. I can't say that I've like done anything big. I guess the biggest thing I did was fracture a collarbone, but it was like the outside, so it felt like the shoulder.
But that's it. They say that's one of the most painful.
Yeah, because there's no way to be. There's nowhere to sit. There's no way to like
Lay down.
take a shower. It's like laying down was the worst because I would like, okay, obviously sleep on the other arm, right? But then just my arm, just the muscle moving down.
The gravity just like.
Moving my elbow down caused pain. I had to like, even sleeping on my back, just moving back, it would be like, this shit is like the worst. Like not being able to get comfortable. Like,
Well, that's what when it got dislocated, I was in the car driving to like the ER. I wasn't driving, but like anywhere like I rested, it just still hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't get my body to a position where it wasn't like fucking just throbbing.
nah, that's the shit.
Shoulders are such like kind of like a bitch part of the body.
Really?
I feel like it, man. Like I feel like shoulders are so. I feel like so many people that are like even slightly active fuck up their shoulders.
I feel like that about the back.
Yes.
Back and knees. Those are like.
I
wouldn't call it like as far as like the bitch, not like insulted, but like they do the most workload. I feel like they're like kind of like
Yeah.
the bitch in that way. It's like
And me calling it a bitch when I've put a fat body on these fucking heavy load areas. For
Why
so
the
many
fuck
years.
isn't it not keeping
Yeah.
up?
My weak ass knees. Why do you think it is fucking McDonald's? You know what?
I had McDonald's earlier.
Oh,
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you have?
I
What's
did
your
like the
go-to?
little. I had like the. I got the app, so I'll like look whatever deals they got going on.
Okay.
But I did like the regular, like was it the $5 meal bag? It was like the sandwich, the fries,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
4-piece nugget.
Just a game changer when they started doing that. What a good deal.
They started doing it right after like Wendy stopped.
Yes. Because Wendy's was a sneaky fuck too.
They had the $4 bags, and they became $5 bags.
Yep.
And now they're like fucking $9, bro.
They would do little shit. I remember one time it went from $4, and then in between it going to $4 to $5, it was like $4.44.
I think $4.44 is what it comes up to after like taxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's nuts. Dude, I get
you're counting
embarrassed.
pennies.
I get embarrassed going into yeah.
Well, no, I just want to give somebody 4-1.
Dude, you save those pennies, you can buy a video game
That's
system.
probably my biggest
Buy
gripe
PS5.
with like fucking stores though. Like I'm always just like, tell me the full price. Like list it as the full price. Let me decide. Don't tell me like I was literally in the store the other day and I'm like, how much for this? And she was like, oh, that's $4. And I go to hand her $4. She was like, and the other lady was like $4.60. I was like, well, why couldn't you fucking say that?
Yeah. Give me the info.
I'm like, say $4.60, so I'm not sitting here like here and ready to walk away. You're like, it's 60. Like,
Dude, the
why,
only
why
place,
the surprise? Why the suspense?
Only place that still does that is the dollar waters from a bodega. You go, how much? $1? Here's $1. That's it.
Well,
Well, I feel like a lot of times they try to incentivize it by like just being like, are you paying cash?
Yeah.
Yeah, $5.
Dude, you ever put $1.06 on your credit card? That's
on the
embarrassing.
reg.
I'm like, I don't got any
That's
cash
like Big
here.
Lebowski
He writes the check.
for 60 cents.
No cash, dude.
Dude, the fucking bodega that I used to live by, I would go there and literally get the same thing every day. It was like a protein bar and a water when I would walk to the park during the pandemic. And what he charged me in cash, different every single day. And I never
That's the thing with bodegas.
I never commented on it because it was usually cheaper.
I love to fight, so I'm always like down to comment on stuff. I'm like, I need some consistency here. I was like, I can't come here at 2 a.m. and pay a different price than I do at like 10 a.m. for a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Oh, their surge pricing.
Yeah, like they'll do
Like Uber.
It's like I buy cigarettes at this one place and like, you know, I'll come in there and they'll be like like $12, and then I'll come in there another time they'll be like 14. I'm like, well, it was just 12 2 days ago. Did the prices go up? They're like, they're always 4. I'm like, all right, maybe it's just that guy looking out, maybe, but that shit is confusing.
The dude would always do the eye up of your items, and it would literally be like he's thinking of what he can get away with. He would just be like, $3, and then I'm like,
I mean, I'm so used to being like, why? I would like this. I like they were like, oh, this is $3. I was like, oh, well, back there it said $1.89. I was like, he's like, oh, you got to go give me. I'm like, I'll come bring the can with the sticker. I'm like, here's 2 of them, just so you know I didn't play around.
I respect that confidence. I need to see that in person.
Dude,
that inspires me.
One of the things I'll do, have you ever been in there? They'll be like, you get buy like a vape or something. They'll be like, $15, $8, whatever. And
I've
I'll
never
be like,
bought a vape
dude,
before.
Next door, I'll be like across the street. They're $3
you do that?
cheaper. I go, I'm good. And sometimes they'll be like, okay, I'll give it to you for what they're gonna do across the street.
Yeah, man, it's nice to like kind of make them compete.
Yeah.
I used to work super late, and then I lived in Forest Hills. I used to work in the city, right? Mm-hmm. And I'd take the train, and 71st stop, I had to go to 62nd, right? Mm-hmm. And in Queens, that's like instead of 8 blocks, it's like 27. So
you got to go through 12 First Avenues before
it's like 71st Street Road,
Boulevard,
Boulevard, and then 70th Street Road Boulevard. It's like, so like when I would get there late, there'd be like a lot of the taxi guys. One guy called me, he was like, where do you live? I'm like, right off, straight down 62nd. He goes, $9, right? Guy pull up behind him. He was like, how much? He'll be like, what'd he say? And I'd be like, he said 9. He was like, 8.
I love that, dude.
So then I started like getting the jump on it. So one day I'm coming out, guy's like, $9. I was like, another guy pulls up. He's like, what'd he say? I was like, 7. He was like, fuck, all right, I'll do it for 6.
Oh, dude, that's good. I had that in, I lived in Bushwick for a while, and I remember I used to go to this bodega all the time. This is what I hate. I hate when they have kids working the counter.
That's all the time, bro.
Dude, they had this kid working the counter, and I remember I would get like a salad and like a Diet Coke, and I did it like, I get into patterns,
sure that's what you got?
It was a chopped cheese and a regular.
And
there we go. I'm like, that's crazy.
A chopped cheese and a vape.
He said,
And
but
a
there was
vape.
salad on it.
Dude, there was lettuce on the sandwich. I took it off. But dude, I go, okay, how much is it? And then this kid, watching him like come up with the price in his head that was different from like the 3 days that I was there. And he was like, oh, it's going to be 16. And I was like, dude, I was here yesterday. It was 13. What are you talking about?
Well, the prices at the bodega is getting kind of out of hand. They act like there's not a million of them around.
Oh, dude.
Number one. And number two is like, man, like you're defeating the purpose. You're supposed to come in under at like the rest of these places.
Yeah.
But then they be like, who the fuck else is open at 4 a.m.? You're like, okay.
Yeah, you got a point.
Got a point there. I will argue with them over like, they'll have like menus and they'll have like the price and then they'll say a not the same price. And I'll be like, nah, I'm not doing that, bro.
They do that shit all the time.
I had a bodega that would do that all the time, and there was one across the street that I did not like as much, but I would go in there and buy like a bag of chips just so I could have change, just so I could pay them exactly the amount. I'm like, nah, it's right. It's like it says $4 up there. Here you go.
That's what that was one of the first things that I really learned when I moved to New York is that in this city, everything seems to be negotiable. Like like financially.
I feel like instead of negotiable, everybody's just trying to like throw an extra on you just to see if they get away with it.
Yeah.
It's not negotiable. It's almost like they're trying to get over it just slightly, just not crazy, but it adds up over time.
There was like, so like you get that the reputation that like everybody in New York's mean, New York City, like.
Yeah.
But I remember one of the first times I was like walking through Central Park and I'm getting a hot dog, and the guy was like, I was like, I just want to do a hot dog and a water, and he was like, $9. I was like,
for what?
I was like, that doesn't seem right, but I'm a fucking, I'm new. I don't want to be like the guy. Like, I'm like, yeah, $9. That sounds right. And this like older dude behind me was like, well, hey, what did he just say to you? $9. Hey, brother, I come here all the time. You know that ain't fucking $9. Charge him what he owes. Charge him what he owes. And I was like, I think that's not what you owe me. He's like, oh,
It was a Philly guy just up here.
yeah. my accents are limited.
He got off his shift at the steel shop and drove up to New York for a hot dog.
But he fucking freaks on this dude, and I was like, yeah. He's like,
You know how much tolls are?
$6.
Charge them the regular price.
I come here all the way from Philly for these hot dogs.
Don't do them like that, kid. Where you from?
Dude, a hot dog should be $2. If I gotta
$2.
walk,
$2.
$2 hot dog,
$2.
$1 water. If I have to walk while I'm eating, it should be under $5.
No, they'll do. I mean, they'll do. I mean,
Crazy.
I've watched over the years, just like just a little bit at a time, and it's like the carts in like what Midtown are like insane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like $5 for a hot dog, $3 for a can of fucking seltzer, Sprite, ginger, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I know I'm being fucked, but don't disrespect me. Like $9 for a dog and a water was like
crazy.
I'm almost as satisfied from walking away from a place. Like, let them know. Like, that was like, how much for that? They'd be like, for you $8. I was like, that's not a deal, bro. And I'll like fucking bail. I was like, I'm good.
You're good,
And then they'll start yelling a different price as I'm like walking away. I'm like, start with that, bro. Like, don't try to like come in like too hot. Like, oh, that's $10. You know who has really expensive street food?
Yeah.
Austin. Yeah.
Well, they're getting a little, they're getting a lot of.
They were like
tourism.
slice of pizza off of like a fucking truck, and they're like slice of pizza $8. I'd be like, Jesus Christ!
You can't do that.
That's
a
crazy.
Slice for $8. That's New York one doesn't even try. that
Exactly, bro. They were doing hot dogs for $12.
Dude, that's like City Field prices.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have such, dude. I'm so jealous of your ability to like walk away and confront people about prices. I just
will.
don't have that. It's like I got this weird like.
Get it from my mom.
Yeah. My mom is also a coward in those situations like me. But it's like, dude, thank Christ I'm with, like, my girl is the way that she is, because
She don't play that shit.
She doesn't play that shit. She'll like take the phone out of my hand. She'll be like, that's no. And I'm like, oh my God, we're getting like free Uber Eats orders on the reg.
Oh, dude, that pisses me off when Uber, you pay so much and then they fuck up your order. Like, I ordered wings like 2 weeks ago with blue cheese. The blue cheese is like $6 extra. And
That's insane.
I ordered it and they didn't give me the blue cheese. I was like, what well, I don't even want these wings without blue cheese.
No, that's such a factor. Like, I remember I ordered from this place. It was like a Greek place, and they would do like a thing of like fucking lamb.
Yeah.
And they would have like the white sauce, like good white.
Yeah.
Was it Tahiti sauce? Tzatziki. Yeah. I said
Or that's
Tahiti.
just the white sauce. I don't even know what it is.
The white
It's just
sauce,
the
but
white sauce.
they're like legit about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's good. And then I ordered it because I'm like, oh yeah, I love this stuff. And then it came without it, and I'm just like, yeah, man, that kind of like,
That's the whole point.
it's not the whole point, but
just wanted the
it's a
white
big enough
sauce.
part of the point.
Yeah, it was one of the selling points.
It's like, now I got to go to my bodega, man, ask for a not as good white sauce. Like, I'm just like, yeah, let me get this small cup.
Oh, can I just get a cup of white? They're like, what? No.
I'll give you some white sauce.
Dude, that's why it's so good, I think, probably.
Are you in Brooklyn now?
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been over there?
In Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I've been in New York for the last coming up on 10 years.
Oh, no shit.
And I started off in Brooklyn, but then I left and was like living in Queens for a little bit.
Fuck yeah.
Like, so I guess maybe 8, 9 of those 10 years I've been in Brooklyn.
You like it over there? You love Brooklyn? Yeah. I feel like I don't go to Brooklyn enough. So when I'm there, it's just so fucking like it feels like a
I mostly see you in
city.
Brooklyn.
I know, yeah, but those are like
Those are the few times.
yeah.
When was the last time you were in Brooklyn? Like the last time you saw me in Brooklyn.
That's why every time I go, I just assume I'm gonna see you.
Okay.
Yeah, you're like like every time every time my brother-in-law has visited New York City 3 times. Every time he was here, he saw Lawrence Fishburne.
Really?
Yeah, he said every time he saw Lawrence Fishburne.
Such a random celebrity.
It's such a
to
random
see.
celebrity.
Are you sure your brother's not racist? He's like, dude, I saw him 7 times today.
You're not gonna believe it. They just put Lawrence Fishburne in my department at work.
Oh my
You're not gonna believe this. Lawrence Fishburne is also driving this train.
Oh my god, my brother-in-law just thinks all black dudes are Lawrence Fishburne. That's such a fucking problem.
That's so.
He sees
funny.
different versions of him too. Hair, no hair, fucking.
Yeah, the Morpheus Lawrence
The
Fishburne
Clippers
was
won.
working with me.
Dude, I saw.
He's like, I just saw a little Apocalypse Now, Lawrence Fishburne.
A kid, a young Lawrence Fishburne.
Hop of the turnstile. That's crazy. That's what he calls black people.
Dude, I went to Brooklyn.
February, Lawrence Fishburne buff.
He's just watching Boys in the Hood.
Dude, you're never gonna believe it. I went to MSG, saw about 15 Lawrence Fishburnes.
Some of them spoke Spanish.
Dude, I saw a dude on the train yesterday who looked exactly like who's that UFC fighter? Ngannou?
Yeah.
Francis Ngannou.
The fucking
I saw
giant.
a dude on the train who looked like the shorter version, but looked exactly like him, and I was like, dude,
Kind of like the Deadpool movie.
I could, yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
it
Have
was
you
a
seen it?
variant.
Yeah, it's good, man.
He's a short Wolverine.
He's a variant. Dude, that movie was so fucking good. We just talked about it before you got
Bro,
here.
I watched it and then I went back. Bro, it was almost like I went back and watched the first 2. I watched the third one and I was like, let me watch the first 2 and then watch the third one, right? Like just to watch them through. And like, it's been so long since I've seen the first one. I was like, this is almost like watching a new movie. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I forget this guy was the bad guy. Like, I'm like, oh shit, that's right.
They're such satisfying movies for like they're just fun.
Yeah.
I loved. Do you have a favorite out of the 3? Is it the most recent?
Yeah, probably the most recent. Recency bias
Probably,
for sure.
yeah.
And fucking Wolverine is like, I feel like they like made Wolverine about as cool as you can make him.
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, once they hinted with the what was it, the after one of the Avenger movies when he's just like fuck off. I'm like, oh, Wolverine using the F word.
Yes.
He's coming. He's
And
coming
then
back.
Logan was R-rated.
Logan was good as fuck too.
But this one was like insane because like me and his other comic Mike, we were talking about it because he was like, you think he's gonna wear the mask? I'm like, he's gonna wear the mask, and he was like, yeah, he'll probably wear it, but it'll probably get destroyed or ripped, and then his back off. And I was like, the way it turned out, I was like, oh, he put it on like at the right moment. It like
yes.
Well, you said I forgot.
It was
I
a
forgot
hype
about
moment.
the mask.
Well, because he has the whole fucking suit on but the mask. And I
Yeah.
was like, they did that since the first X-Men that you were like, okay, maybe this is how they do it. I was okay with that too. Only critique is when he gets rid of the sleeves, he takes the shoulder pads with him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was like, get rid of the sleeves,
Yeah.
keep the shoulder pads.
Yeah, you got that point.
Did you like the original X-Men?
The first one?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably like the first superhero movie
Like of the new breed, yeah.
kind of,
Yeah, it was first like at least, Marvel one under the, that was like, that was 24 years ago.
I remember the
I
costume.
saw it in movie theaters.
Yeah, me too. When they're fighting on the Statue of Liberty, it's so good.
That movie was so cool. It opens up with a fucking Holocaust opening.
Yes.
You're like, whoa, this heavy. This movie heavy.
Dude, the way that I remember that movie is my dad used to buy burned DVDs at the bar, and he fucking brought home X-Men, and I was so excited. He was like, "It's so good," and it wasn't like a screener. It was like
Bootleg?
a dude
Camcorder?
standing up like in like the middle of the like that scene when they're like getting out of like Auschwitz and shit. It's just like a dude standing there and like,
I'm over here.
Yep.
it was such a bad copy of it.
That'll
but, like,
take you out of the scene.
It was such a bad copy, but I was like, I don't know, I was like fucking 9 or 10, and I would just watch the shit out of it. I was like,
I remember the first time I watched a bootleg movie. It was it's a very random movie. It was like my aunt had came down because my parents are from Brooklyn, but I grew up in North Carolina. So sometimes my aunt's family would just come down, and my aunt sometimes would come down, and they'd have like a whole slew of like bootlegs.
Yeah.
And we watched this old movie. It was with Janine Garofalo, and she was like a radio host, and then she was catfishing this guy basically. It was something called Cats and Dogs.
I've never even heard of
It's
that.
like Uma Thurman and Janine Garofalo. It's like
Really?
Yeah, and I was just like, this is random. When we watched it, I was like, I can barely hear this fucking movie.
oh,
it's so faint.
bad.
So faint.
I mean, like if you film like a movie in the theater on your iPhone, it's still gonna be like weird. The sound's gonna be weird. Like it's like,
Oh, yeah.
But imagine back then, these fucking people just had it like strapped to their head.
Straight to VHS.
No, I mean they had the fucking they're in there like this, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like for that situation, you have to like maybe figure certain things. There's a system to it. Like go middle of the day on a Tuesday when there's like nobody in the theater. Sit directly in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting side shots of the movie. It's like. Why is it getting thinner? Or, like it's narrow on the left side.
Terrible.
It was packed in that X-Men movie. Dude.
Oh, yeah,
just
dude.
like a head halfway.
I used to like do a bunch of like watch movies on like online sites, and I remember trying to watch the first Wolverine that they had.
The Origins? That was good, dude.
Yeah, but they didn't. The copy they had was like a clear copy, right? But it didn't have. It had none of the like fucking finished effects on it. So like they're doing all this gunplay, but it's not even a real looking. It looks like just a gray blotch.
Dude, when they're like fighting on the dam or whatever that is, it's all.
I didn't even
green
make
screen.
it that long. I was like, nah. I was like, this looks clear, but this is like taking me out of it too much.
Dude, it's crazy
None of
to see it like that.
the swords come out of his hands. It's just like he's making fists.
He's like
fighting.
You hear it, but you don't see it. You're like, okay, yeah.
They
You
did the
get a new
sound.
respect. You're like, oh, he's a good actor. He's pretending like there's fucking little knives on his hands.
Yeah.
Fucking Josh Brolin come up with half his body in a green suit to be Cable. I'm like, oh, okay.
Dude, they like that particular X-Men Origins, they like, I forget what the fucking number was, but it was like 10 million people saw that particular screener before. Like,
Really?
Yeah, a lot. It was
were
like all off. It was all online. But the shit, like I said, it was so bad. I was like, this, I'll wait.
Yeah.
That's worse than seeing a bad bootleg.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I watched the whole thing. I actually started thinking it was cool. I was like, oh, that's how they did it.
It's like watching like Mission Impossible and see like Tom Cruise's Apple Box. Like, wait, what?
You're like, why are his shoes so thick? He
You're
got
like,
the
what's
platform.
He's just on stilts.
Dude, that's just crazy. I just watched one of those recently, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I never realized how good those movies
What?
are. The Mission Impossible movies."
I got a homie, man. We'll go and watch every time one
They're
comes
good,
out. We'll
man.
go and watch it in the movie theater.
Yeah. They're
Every
real
time.
good.
Yeah.
And perfect for like the movies. Like those are like ones you like.
Those are
gotta
movie
go
theater
to.
movies. At this point, I feel like now people don't play games with like what comes out in theaters. Like
Yeah.
you got a rom-com, send it straight to fucking Netflix. All right?
Exactly.
You got some action, put it in theaters. Some of them they missed though. Like that one. What was the one with what's it called? I think it's called Extraction with
Netflix
the
with
Thor.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. That one was good. I was like, that could have came on in theaters. That was pretty good.
I'm a big movie guy. Like I love going to the theater. Like it's like a fucking thing for me. And like it. Okay, here's a good question for you, Napoleon, because you're pretty good. It seems like you're good at like confronting fucking people that are trying to fuck you over and ruin the universe.
Sometimes.
How are you with like people being disruptive in a movie theater?
Disruptive?
Like just like somebody like having like full blown conversation or like fucking.
Depends on how far I am from them.
Okay.
If I'm far enough, I'll talk a lot of shit. Like, shut the fuck up. But if I'm sitting right next to them, I'm just like, just kind of like staring at them like,
Excuse me, could you please be quiet?
not even. I'm just kind of giving them a look like, please don't make me say something. Like, obviously, you know you being a dickhead right now.
That's my move. Is if somebody's close, I do the like. Fucking, you guys know Sean Murphy?
Oh, yeah.
I remember me and him went to see that Nicolas Cage movie.
Which one?
The fucking
The four he already put out this year?
when he plays himself,
yeah.
the immense talent, and we go see that shit, and it was like one of like the most. It was the Times Square Theater. It was one of the most like
AMC?
Yeah, the most nightmarish like movie experience I've had recently.
When you said Times Square, I made me think of it was like a fucking porn theater.
Yeah, me and Murphy, we have a rule. We put like a coat between us so we can't hit each other's arms while we're jacking off.
Elbows rubbing.
But there's no boobs or anything in this one. But which brings me to it. There were
Good thing.
There was
for saying that.
There was a homeless dude walking. Just in case you were thinking about watching it, there's no tits. You could skip it.
Straight to Netflix for
No
me.
fucking tits, bro.
But there's like a homeless dude walking around in a bag, being kind of we were
In the theater?
Yeah,
Oh, $14 to get you AC all day.
we weren't gonna say anything.
He had to beg for 2 days to get that.
and then like, and then, like
Come on, I'm trying to see the new Deadpool. 2 cents?
no, he was trying to see the new Nicolas Cage movie. Even better,
Even worse.
But
dude.
there were like 4, and we assumed they were prostitutes that were like sitting like 10 rows in front of us, and they were like talking. And the biggest problem was the one chick was just on her phone watching videos, like in the middle of the theater, and
Like she was just on TikTok?
yeah, like just
That's
scrolling through, and like you
insane.
could hear it, and fucking
This is not your living room.
yes,
That's
it's the most
insane.
annoying thing in the world to me. And Murphy had the fucking stones. He's like a tall nerdy fella. He walks down there. He's like, excuse me. Can you turn your phone off? Can you put your phone away? He went back down and like tapped her on the shoulder like he was a fucking usher. I was like,
Did she listen?
yes. I was like, dude, you're my
Good.
fucking hero.
Good.
Oh
That's a heroic moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, miss, your ADHD is showing. All right.
I would not have the balls to do that in
No.
Times Square, dude. You don't know what the fuck the reaction's gonna be.
I just always think it's such a weird, like even
But it's an agreement. When you go to a theater, it's an agreement. You know what I'm saying? It's there's a lot of people in there. Like, all right, this is just not my experience. It's like that's like to me somebody heckling at a comedy show. It's like, yeah, man, there's like fucking 90 people in here, but you think that your ticket is like more, I guess, special than everybody else's. Yeah, you actually are a part of the show. Why'd you pay for a ticket?
I hate that
that's what I was just saying. It is the same as stand. Like I will never get what is in people. Like me. Like if I'm getting fucking drunk, the last thing I want to do is go somewhere I gotta be quiet.
Oh yeah, dude.
If I'm catching up with old friends or we're doing a bachelor party together, the last thing I want to do is go into a room and listen to one dude talk.
Dude, I don't
Not
understand that, man. We talk about this. Like, I love comedy.
So you don't
Love
go.
doing
So you
it.
don't get wasted and go to court.
No,
Okay. All right.
I went to court for getting wasted for sure, but
I don't understand these people who like want to go to comedy shows. As like someone
general,
who loves
we need
comedy,
them.
we need them. I know. Thank God they exist, because in my wildest dreams, I'd never be like, you know what? Let's go to a basement and watch comedy. Even though that's, I think, the best place to perform comedy, I would never understand these people who are like, let's.
Well,
just
that's the
get a
thing.
group together.
We have to rely on the people that we do not probably like get along with or
Exactly.
understand. They're like, yeah. We need you though. That's like a good marker for like when you get on stage. Just like look around the audience, be like, you know what? I wouldn't kick it with any one of you.
Yeah.
you're like, this is gonna be a good show.
This is fine. I'm
like-
not worried about a single one of you guys.
Dude, the people that I do get along with, like my friends that I grew up with, are some of the worst people that have come to shows that I've done.
Oh yeah, dude.
They're nightmares. Like I did
That shit is embarrassing. I've had that happen before.
It's and like dude, I did a fucking like headline in my hometown, like at the club, like had a bunch of people there. One of my buddies sat up front, shit faced drunk, wouldn't shut the fuck up the whole time.
Oh my God. You've had that happen too?
I remember I did a show back home. Was traveling through and we were stopping in Charlotte, and I did this last minute pop up at a spot. A lot of people showed up, but it was me and like 3 other comics, and literally for the most part, and I was a pretty young comic at the time, and I probably should have just hosted the show, just because. But like I was like just doing a spot, and I was towards the end of the show, and since it wasn't me on stage, they were just like, it was almost as if it was just like they were just there saying what up to each other. Like, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Like just not heckling, but like disregarding. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
And then one of them just was like drunk and like this was like 9 years ago. I got one of my best friend. I was back home and we ran into this dude like just randomly out at a bar. And he was like, my homeboy pulled me to the side. He was like, I never forget that time he heckled. I never forget that time he was too drunk and just talked throughout the whole fucking show. And I was just like, wow, thank you for understanding and feeling that. Like the fact that you held on to this and you're not even a stand-up. He was just like embarrassed for him, like, shut the fuck up.
That's a good friend. That's a good friend.
See, like even when my friends like from back home were like good, like people in the comedy audience, I remember my one buddy that I grew up with. He comes up to me after the show. He's like, "Dude, you did good, man." But like, I was literally ready to fucking fight this dude that was right next to me, and I was like, Jesus Christ, why was he like talking and heckling me? He was like, nah, I just really wasn't laughing at the shit you were saying. I was like, God damn, hey, it's all good, man.
Fine.
Please don't fight at my, and he is the dude that would fight at my show.
God.
I was like, please don't.
They say that's how like
right here.
fucking rest in peace Charlie Murphy was for Eddie. He like be at a show and he'd, like see dudes in the audience. I'm like, what, you not finding this funny? You have to like, I'm sorry, I was thinking about something else.
Yeah, you're like,
Going through a breakup, I came here. This is not really taking me out of it, but I'll laugh.
Dude, I had a buddy get wasted. I did like a brewery show in Saratoga.
That's a good place to get wasted.
And it was one of those ones where I was featuring, and this is years ago, and it was like the first time I was getting, like one of the first few times I was getting a real like, oh, you get to like feature for a comic, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. At a brewery, really nice, dude. And I remember he showed up with his future brother-in-law, dude, and he got wasted, heckling the whole show. And then at the end, he stands up, dude. He like fell on the table, collapsed the table. All the drinks go like pouring on him, and I was just like, I walked away. I was just like, dude, I think that guy's too drunk.
The brother-in-law or your homeboy?
My buddy. Dude, it was bad. I told the headline, I was like, That's my buddy, man. I'm so sorry.
You know, that's
fine.
The weird thing about it is like I've done brewery shows, and brewery shows are a lot more tame than I would expect them to be because they're in a brewery. So if something like that happening, I'd be like, yeah, we had a brewery.
yeah.
But that stuff like that I never really see at brewery shows. It's usually just people like, afterwards.
They get lit,
Yeah, they're out fucking out. They got like a little courtyard area. They're fucking playing cornhole, wasted and shit. Like, yeah. But during the shows, they're never like as, and granted, at these comedy clubs, they're giving them like liquor. You know what I'm saying? They're getting drinks. Yeah. And these guys are getting like whatever local craft beer brewery that they're at. Like, here's our dessert beer. And that's what they drink.
Most of the beers they serve, they can't stomach more than 1.5 beers. They're so fucking heavy.
It's just 1,200 calories. Enjoy it. And you're like,
this is our blueberry beer. You're like, oh, okay.
Drinking bread right now.
Dude, I remember my one of the shows I did back home. My buddy who he was like in and out of jail a lot. He was like the kid that like when we were like 14, it was like, yeah, he's gonna be the dude that gets in trouble too much. And he's there. Like I hadn't seen him in years. I was like, holy shit, what's up, dude? And I'm like, oh, he's not coming up to me. And then I realized he has a broken leg, and he got like his leg up like this. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, man, what happened to you? And he was like, broke my ankle, beating up my sister's husband. I was like, oh, all right.
You tripped whooping his ass?
Yeah. I was like, what, did he have 2 broken ankles? What's going on here?
Oh, my God.
What does his ankles look like? You know what I'm saying? You should see the other guy's ankles. Yeah. I crossed him over first.
He's such a lunatic. Because then I didn't have anything clever to say. I was just like, you sure he didn't kick your ass, dude? You got a broken ankle. And he was like, no, I was
broken ankles usually not what comes from a fight.
Yeah, I know.
That's like, oh, you were playing basketball. Like you tripped at the pool, something like that.
I was like, what, you throw a fucking roundhouse kick and broke it off his face? What's going on?
Yeah, unless you're goon.
Fight energy.
on skates.
On skates, fighting on skates.
No teeth.
Were you a big fighter at all growing up?
I had my seasons.
Okay.
I had my certain age windows where I was fighting, and then not so much, and then it'd be back to. I feel like I got all of that out my system. Like I tried to, I guess, before high school.
Okay, yeah.
Because then I was playing football, and then that was kind of channeled there. But
Yeah.
I still got into a handful of fights in school, but nothing crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I mean, you also have that. Like Ray, you're a big guy. I feel like people don't want to fight you. Either they don't want to fight you, or they want to fight you because you're a big guy.
Yeah, it happens.
Just being tall. People are like,
sometimes they're like, they're challenging. They'll posture up. You know what I'm saying? Try to be extra, and then some people want to like talk your head off all night. They'll want, and I'll try to say the right things to get them away. They were like, "Yo, you watch college football?" I'll be like, "Nah." They're like, "But like, who's you have a team?" I'm like, "I just told you no," and they'll like just fucking want to keep talking to me about like some shit like that. I'm like, especially when I was like doing security, they would try to do that shit a lot. I'm like, I'm not here to talk to you, bro. Like this somehow makes my night worse.
People constantly want to prove themselves in some weird way. Like the only people that like ever really would start shit with me at bars, like when I was younger, was like way smaller dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you trying to like I'm not really a fighter. I was like, what are you trying to get a fucking a notch on your belt?
It's like that prison like. Go to the biggest dude, make him your bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm getting old. I'm your bitch. Fuck,
I'm like, fuck it, I'm your bitch.
I'm your bitch.
I'm just
Fucking
trying to order
Buy me a drink.
trying to order a strawberry wheat beer. Okay, I'm just trying to hang.
Just trying to give myself a blueberry dessert beer right now.
I'm your bitch. I'll take an espresso martini. Extra espresso.
They got ciders on tap.
I can have a cider.
I like sours, but just one to give me heartburn.
Like I'll get it, but I need to pour it in a glass.
We had that. It's always a small guy. I remember. Do you know Jonathan Tilson? The taller guy, gray hair. He's a comic.
Deep voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
voice,
him.
Deep
Yeah,
voice.
yeah.
Former guest of the pod. We went out.
I saw him. I think it was maybe we were at in the city at that place with the pool. I think McDougal House.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I saw. Yeah. I'll see him over there from time to time.
When we were doing 7th Street, I remember me and him went out for a drink after.
Yeah.
And it's always a small dude. And there was this dude, we walked in, and I'm not tall. I'm 5'9.5", 5'10" on dating apps. And
he is tall.
He's tall. He's like 6'4",
dude.
probably 6'3".
I would say tall. He's like taller than me.
Yeah? How tall are you?
6'3".
Yeah. He's probably
6'4", 6'5", I would think. But
Yeah.
maybe it's my.
Yeah, he's definitely taller. He's taller.
And
than
we
me.
walk in, dude, and there was this kid in there. He was probably like 5'3", real, like wasted. One of those just like you can tell.
He has
like,
a gun on him.
He's there to start a problem. He's probably like 22, 22 in the East Village, small. And we walk up and he goes, "Whoa, who let grandpa into the bar?" Because he's got the gray hair. And dude, I was furious. I was so mad. And Tilson was
About
just
how
like,
bad that joke was.
yeah, dude. I was like, what a fucking asshole this kid is. So
He has no idea you guys write jokes for a career.
Dude, so
I
then
got one.
we start making fun. We're just like, oh, the fucking short guy, dude. Like, just kind of making fun of him, going to the bar to order a drink. Dude, he's got 4 dudes, like, sitting around him. They all, like, stood up when we started talking to him. And it was like, oh, yeah, this is what this guy does. He's just a short guy who has his friends. He picks fights, and his friends finish him.
It's
And I was
like
just
a
this is so
unbeknownst to you
lame.
confidence. Like he's like, yeah, I got insurance behind me, but you don't know that.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like
dude.
now I'm gonna talk shit and then let you respond back and then be like, oh, is this what you want? Like
Yeah.
little bait and switch, bro.
By the way, here's my offensive line, and they
I was
just all
like-
stand up.
I was like, look at this little guy. I'll fucking put you in my fanny pack.
I
What are
remember
you doing?
I was at this bar. This is in Charlotte, and they would do these like wild like deals. They would be like $1 drink night, and I think one night they did penny drink
Oh
night.
my god!
And I was like, I remember going in there, and I was like, "Are you guys closing? Like, what's happening?" But I remember being in the bathroom, right, and this shorter guy comes in, and he goes to the stall next to me, and he like looks over at me. I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? Like this is not the place. I'm not trying to have any type of like small talk conversation with you right now.
Got my
And he
dick in
goes,
my hand.
he's like, "Oh man, you're pretty big, bro." And I was like, thank God for these stall walls, right? Like the little urinal walls. And I was like, all right, yeah. And he goes, he's like, no, man. I'm not trying to like be weird. I'm just like, you know, like I'm a firefighter. I can like pick you up, bro. I can like save somebody your size. And I'm just like, okay.
Cool. Well, hey, if there's a fire, I'm going to look for you. But until then.
I'm like, if there's a fire, I'll find a way.
But until then, both of our penises are out. Now shut the fuck up and look forward.
Basically, bro. He's just like, yo, I could like dog. He's like, I'll pay. I had to do that to train. I'm like, bro, I didn't ask you any of this shit. None of this was asked. I like, dog. I don't give a fuck. Like I give a fuck.
If there's a
You're
fire.
a hero. You know what I'm saying? Salute.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I support.
Thank you for your service on domestic territories. But yeah, like this is not the time. I'm like what type of response are you looking for from me?
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to say, "Oh, word, pick me up"? Like,
Yeah,
what do you
that's
want?
what he
What do you want?
wants.
What do
He
you
goes,
want?
Hang on, let me finish pissing. We're gonna go outside. You gotta pick
I'm
me
like,
up.
no,
That's what
no
he
fucking
wants.
way, bro. You're a fucking
What?
firefighter with your height. That's insane.
Dude, yeah, you get the whole bar out. I'm gonna pick this guy up. That's what he wants.
Guys,
dude.
you
That's
gotta
his
go out.
dream.
I'll run outside. Guys, you guys wouldn't believe this. This guy's a fucking firefighter.
And he picked me up over his head.
Show him.
Show him again.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's good.
I would never let somebody try.
No,
No,
Because it's
I think I could pick you up.
that's fine. And
no
it would
fucking way.
always stay a thought. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, after the pod, we're just picking each other up. You're like, yeah, I gotta go, dude. I
Yeah.
gotta get the fuck out of here.
dude, don't talk to me in the bathroom. You know, like if you're a stranger and it's
Girls would do that shit. They'll be like, "Oh, I bet I could pick you up." I'll be like, "Now we're no longer flirting. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here."
yeah, now you're just making me self-conscious.
Why would you say that? Why would you say you bet? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Dude, that's what I hate. You know what I hate now is these co-ed bathrooms at these like nice bars now you go to, and it's like a co-ed bathroom.
I don't mind when it's like fucking a single bathroom.
Dude, I'm trying to like
Single bathrooms are the shit, dude.
They're great.
I hate so then I'll say I hate the opposite when they have single bathrooms, but it's like male and female. Because then I'm like, does it fucking matter? I'm going to whichever one's open.
Me too.
I was at a bar and I walked into the women's bathroom because somebody was in the male's bathroom, and it was like I said, they were like, you know,
Right next to each other.
one toilet,
Yeah.
door locked. I come out the bathroom, this girl was staring at me. She was like, "Says women's." I was like, I don't give a fuck. I read that before.
I'm a lady.
I was like, yeah, like you don't tell me how I identify.
You don't know.
But I'm like, who gives a fuck? I wasn't in there with another woman, and even if I was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And I didn't shit. I was just a piss.
I don't even remember
enough of
what I
piss.
did. I could have shit it. It doesn't matter.
That's what I hate, dude. You
The
go to these
fact that she thought she could be like, that says woman's. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
go to these nice
I got
private
yelled at that
bathrooms.
at Patty's.
Did you?
Patty McGuire's has like kind of like the single.
I do that all the time in Patty's.
Yeah, I took
Yeah,
a
me
piss. I
too.
took a piss in the women's. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking.
I'll do that. I do that all the time. Like at Patty's, the place I was talking about was across the street, Barfly.
Oh,
like
yeah,
Barfly.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Not a bad, that's not a bad bar.
This girl
either.
playing pool in there, she was just like, that says women's. I was like, ugh, don't talk to me.
Shut up, dude.
Yeah, there's like, you know.
You and your fucking bring to the bar pool stick. Like, the
Oh my god. Yeah, that's someone who would
Oh,
twisting
They
it
screw
together.
it together. Yes.
I'm like, what are you about to kill someone? What are you about to snipe?
Dude, that's what I don't like is, dude, you go into a nice private bathroom, you take a shit. If you're at a bar and you have to take a shit, it's a bad situation already. And then I got to walk out and see like 3 hot chicks at the mirror and be like, yep, that was me. That was me. We all know it was me.
Yeah.
You heard it. It's horrible.
I'm shit shy.
Me too.
Sometimes I'll see like the cute girls running out the bathroom and not want to make eye contact. I'm like, oh, they definitely shit.
Yeah.
They definitely shit. You walk in, you're like, oh, they shit.
I did see this video of this like, you know, chick or whatever, this like trans chick, and she's like, all of these men are shitting in my bathrooms, like
Which bathroom was
like
hers?
the non-binary bathroom or whatever it is, like the all gender bathroom.
All
And
genders
they're
for
like,
all genders.
They're shitting in my bathroom, and it's like, yeah, no shit, dude. That's the only place I feel comfortable to take a shit.
That's all genders,
Is the
all shits.
all gender bathroom.
They got that.
Nice and private, dude.
They got like the what's the one at Union Hall downstairs. It's like it's like an all gender bathroom, but the door is always open. But it's like nothing. But it's nothing but stalls. It's nothing but stalls.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like whatever.
I had a pretty pretty like uncomfortable because I'm like I said, I'm shit shy.
Yeah.
I don't like when people know what I just did in public. And I did a comedy show this past weekend for a 70th birthday party because things are heating up.
Going good.
And like the other comic was like, dude, just take a shit in there. Just take a shit in there. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I was like, yeah, but I'm weird, dude. So like I go downstairs to like the public area.
Like I'm weird. They're like, are you all going to beat off? Watch this shit? Like, what you mean?
I have to come before every show, right? I won't be able to perform. So the one downstairs was occupied. It kept being occupied. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to do it up here. And of course, dude, like right when I sit down on the toilet, all I hear are like two like older dudes outside, like, oh, it's locked, huh? Man, do you think there's somebody in there?
Like, no
I don't
shit.
know. Maybe somebody accidentally locked it before they shut it and it's locked. I don't know. And it's like 5 minutes. And this isn't a shit that's built for public. It's one that like, like
That's the shit that I hate. Like the fucking don't have a conversation. Like the people that try to open up the door and they'll like
Dude,
they'll do like 2 or 3 nudges and then they'll knock. Like obviously someone's in here. It's like fucking back the fuck up.
they did it like 5 to like, dude, they wouldn't leave, right? They're talking the whole time. I hear them. They're like, well, maybe we should get somebody to see if they can open it because it doesn't seem like anybody's in there. And then I'm like, hey, I'm in here, but they can't hear me because of like I don't know
They're
what
old.
it is.
Loud as shit,
Yeah,
and
and they're old. So like I like hurry up and I kind of like finish as fast as possible, right? And I'm like getting out
Pinched
there,
it
I'm,
off.
like, washing my
Didn't even shit. Just like it fucking crawled
Just
up your body.
farted in the toilet.
to be gross. Yeah, it was a situation where there was going to be a part 2. And I
Like,
fucking,
to be continued. Walked out.
find out next time on Deadpool 2. And I opened the door and I was like, hey, I was in there. I was saying I was in there. I was in there for 5 minutes. And the guy like tries making a joke like, oh, 5 minutes too long. And then I was like, I was jerking off. And then he was like, okay. And I just walked out. And meanwhile, I'm wearing a sling. I got like my arm in a sling, so
Same
like,
sling, same situations.
I had an easier sling on to like pull on and off, but yeah.
Wait, do you always break this arm?
This one, no, this was just this past weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought this
was
was
a recent shit story.
This is years ago.
To go with
Just
men,
this time.
yeah, but I mean that kind of stuff like that's what scares me. That's why I don't
no.
like
That
shitting
shit
in
is
public.
that shit is aggro because I'll be at fucking at Old Man Hustle. I'll be like in the bathroom. Somebody will try to open the door, then they'll knock. Then they'll be like, "Hello." I'm like, "Do I have to like?" It's like, "Is it my job to respond?" I'm like, "The locked door should be enough."
I think it's totally fair.
I like
dude.
the locked door. Look around. If it's not an empty place, somebody's probably in here.
And dude, it's like a hard thing to like announce.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be a minute.
I'm in here.
I can't remember the last time I went to a locked door at a bar of a bathroom and then it was just like accidentally locked.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that it can't happen.
it could
but,
happen.
If it's locked, I'm gonna sit there for a while and then words come to words. If nobody's coming out, I'm gonna find another bathroom. I might go to another bar to go use another bathroom. Honestly, like I'll walk out into a place and go across the street.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I'll go somewhere more,
Especially like
comfortable.
somewhere like on a block where I'm like, oh, I'm over here all the time. I've been to all these bars. Like, yeah, fuck it. I'll just fucking I'll go to a place and I'll have like. I prefer to use the bathroom at this bar. So like if I got it, I'll leave a place just to go use the bathroom at a bar
dude,
that I prefer.
that you can fire off a peaceful shit.
The comedy shop is the best place to take a shit.
Oh,
out of
downstairs?
any comedy club, maybe in the
Downstairs.
city. The downstairs.
That's a nice place to
Downstairs,
hide.
fucking the pair's not bad, but
The pair's bad, dude.
well, you have the one in the showroom,
Showroom,
after the show. But after the show's over,
After the show's over,
The
then
showroom
it's
one's a nice shit spot.
yeah,
not during the show though.
no, you don't want to do that during
That's
the
too
show.
scary.
Dude, you know
That's
those,
like the bathroom right before the showroom at Williamsburg.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, dude.
like it's perfect after the shows are over, but while the shows are going on, you're like, this is
all the comics. You hear them hanging out right in the
that's
vestibule.
I think that's almost unshittable.
I think so, unless the show's over.
But that's also the only one with like a plunger in it.
That's
Is
true.
that a big concern?
Listen, I've been in situations in the other bathroom.
Yeah.
People were banging on it, and I was like, this shit is just not flushing.
You're like, sorry, this wasn't me. I peed on top of it.
I'm like, I peed in the sink. Trust me, I didn't do this.
I'm not gross. I pissed in the sink.
Dude, that's a horrible situation. You're just like, we got a problem.
Dude,
we got a fucking problem.
I was on the road, and those like those gas stations that have the bathroom that you got to go outside to get in. They'll give you like a key. That's
with the key connected to like a yardstick.
Yeah. So I grabbed the one, and I like just I go in and I open the door, and there is just this big ass like Mexican dude taking a shit, and I'm like, oh, sorry. He's like, nah, man, don't worry about it, dude. Don't worry about it at all. And I like shut the door, and he's still like yelling. He's like, yeah, man, no problem, dude. I ain't mad you walked in, dude. I was in prison 16 years. I don't give a shit. And I was
Damn,
like,
he had a story to tell. He was like, no, actually, it's all right. I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you this. Like when I was in jail, you're like, okay, bro.
he's like, brother, just pop right back in here.
on
We'll
in,
figure it
come on
out.
in.
You're like, no, I'm walking away. You can stop.
And then when he got out, he kind of said it again to me. He was like, don't worry, man. It happened to me all the time, dude. All that shit in front of me. And I was like, hey, we're good with me saying sorry and you saying it's all right.
That's
right?
like dads try to relate to each other or some shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, this makes sense for this conversation. You can't take that energy with like, yeah, man, I'm used to guys walking in. We're like, the toilet was right next to the bed, had to sit down to piss. You're like, all right.
Yeah, my cellmate would just be reading or something, just getting ready for bed.
Dude, I told you that after law school when we took a tour of the jail in Massachusetts.
You guys got scared straight?
No, yeah, dude. They were like, Dylan, you're gonna be locked up with Martin.
Instead of guys yelling at you, these guys tell you about showing you their paperwork. when you finish,
They're like, all right, you take a shit right now. Go watch. I'll watch. You go.
Read my paperwork, and then maybe we can maybe build a case. Get me out of here.
Dude, but I remember we took a tour, and it was like 20 of us on this tour, and the warden like brought us into like the holding area where like everyone before their, if they have open cases, and it's like an open like gym, basically all the bunk beds and shit. I remember we walked in, and I was like, I feel so uncomfortable
like
being
Full
here.
Metal Jacket.
Yeah. And there's just like, I remember there's a dude just taking a shit, and the guy's like, yeah, this is these are all the bunk beds. I'm like, hey man, we got to get out of here. It feels like I just walked into someone's house. Like we got to leave, dude. This is so weird.
This guy taking a shit, another guy ironing a grilled cheese sandwich.
They're just looking at us. They're like, well, you want some? I'm like, yeah, okay.
That was my friend that I was talking about with the broken leg that was in and out of jail a lot. We would try to like ask him how bad it was, but he was too prideful. So he would always be like, jail was fun for real. And we're like, no, it wasn't.
Jail was pretty chill, bro. Like,
dude, he was
great,
like,
dude.
He was like, man,
once you get past the smell and the screams, like it's
you loosen up. Loosen up everywhere.
Fucking relax. Learn to meditate. Do some push-ups. You get routines.
He tried hyping up the food. He was like, yeah, he's like, you would just put it like we would, crush up some of the chips and cook it over the toilet. And I was like, right there. You just said over the toilet. That's where the disconnect is. You're never going to convince me that a meal is good that has the word toilet in it.
Oh, dude.
That a toilet is part of the cooking process.
No. You just over the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I will say this. To be in prison, and, they are very resourceful with the stuff that they have. You know what I'm saying? They do... They do a million
videos.
Or they could fill up a menu with how many ways to do like ramen. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like
resourceful, not what my buddy said, which was smartest people in the world are in there. Smartest people in the world. I said, Brand, that can't be true. That's just not true. They wouldn't be. Hey, if they were the smartest in the world, they wouldn't have got caught.
I'm like, no fucking way. I'm like, what's their IQ test scores? Smartest people in the world in there.
He's the best, man. He can't budge.
Smartest, but if he followed it up with like smartest people, but also very impulsive.
Yes.
Some issues with impulse control. That's fine. Maybe anger issues, but
But they are very smart.
I've never seen a guy make an oven out of a hair dryer, but there we are.
Smartest violent people in the world. That's what I meant. Smartest violent people in the world.
Oh,
yeah,
shit, dude.
He and then his other big thing was we were talking to him like right after he got out, and he's like trying to tell us about all the fun he had, and he's like, we're working out, man. We got to play cards, bro. I was playing softball. We were playing softball all the time, just outside. We get to go outside. We'd get to go outside, and I was just like, yeah, but whenever you won, he's like, well, no.
Jail.
I also get to go outside.
23 and 1,
nice.
dog.
That's crazy.
We get an hour outside.
Yeah.
23 with the homies. I mean, I can see that being like if you're in jail, you're in prison, you make a situation where like, you're no longer like fearing for like wild stuff happening around. You got a little routine like, oh, I play cards on this day. I play cards with these guys every day at this time. I play basketball. I'm working out. I know how to like, conjure up a recipe with the food items I'm getting. I'm pretty sure like if you get to a smooth like middle ground and like,
Not bad.
coast on it, I guess. But you're still in jail.
Well, you know
Still
what?
in prison.
Still in jail.
You kind of changed my thoughts on this interaction because I mean that's just I was thinking it was like a pride thing. I think he's just positive.
Yeah.
I think he was just making the most of a bad situation.
Yeah. Once you get past the point, like, you know what? Nobody's actively trying to get their like credibility up on my like torso. They're not trying to poke me up in the like you know what? I'm fine. I know where I sit in the cafe in the mess hall. I know where I lift weights at. Like, yeah.
You're good.
Now I just gotta worry about these next 12 years. But other than that, I'm good. If I could just keep this pace.
Well, if my childhood,
Anxious all the time.
if my buddy from childhood is listening, I'm sorry that I had that take initially. I think you're just being positive and making the most of things, dude. And please don't kill me.
My uncle was like that. He, like every time like a song would come on or like a movie would come on or we were like watching something, he'd be like, "Oh, this shit came out when I was on the island." He was like, "I remember when this dropped. Hell yeah, I was actually getting my my GED at the time." I'd be like,
Holy shit. That's so funny, dude. Dude, we're already at an hour.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm fucking
We
sweating.
didn't talk about any drinking stories.
I know,
I mean,
dude.
kind of, sort
Do
of.
you want to?
Yeah.
Do you have one? Do you have a? You have a boozing story that we can?
I don't know. The most recent one is that I went and boozed and came here. So
Did you?
I didn't booze today, but it definitely was a slight hangover.
Oh,
waking up.
dude.
How are your hangovers?
I mean, they're not too bad. Like, cause I drink a lot of water, so it's like,
Good. It's the key.
Your whiskey.
I always sound goofy saying it, but it's like, yeah, that shit helps.
It helps a ton.
Like that's like the most like of the problem is you're just hydrated when you're like hungover.
Yeah, it's why like sometimes I've
Dehydrated. Did I say hydrated or
dehydrated.
dehydrated?
I've been so hungover that like my calves hurt.
Yeah.
I have no water in my
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
That's always nice though. You weigh yourself on those dehydrated days.
that's
You're like,
nice.
fuck, I lost
That's
6
it.
pounds last night.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
That's so nice, dude. I'm
There
so
you go.
skinny.
There you go, Dylan. That's a good way to look at
That's
it.
how I look at
Positive. See?
it. Yeah.
There we go. I need some more of that in my life.
God damn, am I light? And then I have a glass of water and I gain 7
Like I
pounds
didn't
back.
break my arm. I'm just resting it for a couple weeks with the sling.
Yeah, I'm supercharging it. It's gonna be stronger than ever soon.
That's like my homeboy. He fucked up his knee in like playing football, which was also a crazy story. But do we have time? Can I tell you?
Yeah.
We got all the time in the world.
So this guy, he was like a receiver, tight end, right?
Yeah.
And catches the ball downfield, gets hit hard, but from behind, and slid on his leg, and his kneecap like fucking slid down his leg, right?
God damn.
It was a thing. Like they stopped the game, brought the paramedics out,
yeah.
took him right. And, he had a best friend on the team who this guy went on to play in the NFL. And then, yeah, he wound up losing his hand in like a fucking ATV accident.
Oh, my God.
I like randomly like looked him up to see how he was doing and just saw him in like a fucking ESPN like photo shoot with a hook. I was like, what the fuck? But
That's a bold move to be like, I'm going with the hook.
I missed a couple years. But either way, but when we were in high school, right, he, this kid name was like, his name was Brad, right? And they're like, I get to in the locker room when the kid goes, "Yo, did you how's Brad doing? That was like crazy last night." And he was just like, "I don't know, man. I called his house, right? Because this is back when like people still had those shits." He was like, "I called his house. I called a bunch of times. Nobody picked up." And he was just like, "Damn, man. I hope he's doing all right." I was like, "What do you mean you called his house?" I was like, "What do you mean? Like, why would he be at home?" And the dude was like, all I know is after a hard game and a hard hit, the first thing I want to do is have a home cooked meal by my. I'm like, no, bro, you going to the emergency room. His fucking kneecap was in his shit, and I was like 14 or 15 at the time, being like, are you guys all like, what do you think happens after you your kneecap is no longer where it's supposed to be.
On your knee.
Let me go home and get some nuggets real quick. Let me get my mom's spaghetti.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
that's one of the worst things I ever saw playing rugby was, and I fucked up my knee, I fucked up my leg, both shoulders, my nose, all playing rugby. The worst thing I ever saw was in practice. This dude, buddy of mine, gets tackled, and same thing. His kneecap slid to the outside of his knee. Dude, I remember watching it, and he's like down, and you could see, I'm watching the kneecap be on like the outside of his knee, and he bent his leg, and I watched it fucking snap back into place.
Okay.
And I was like, but dude, I heard it and saw it, and it was horrifying. Just watching it like pop back in, that was terrible.
Did he throw up?
No, someone drove him to the hospital. It was club rugby. No ambulances are coming.
Oh, it sounds like I just imagine like when you do something like that, just the trauma of the body. Like you probably gonna like Earl after that.
I would have thrown up if I were you. Seeing that
it was.
shit.
Oh yeah, like witnessing that. Yeah, I mean, when I played football and I see people get hurt, like I never like I never see anything that bad that made me want to throw up. Like you remember like on any given Sunday the guy like loses an eye. I would feel like that'll probably make me sick. I remember being on the line and some dude actually throwing up on the line. Yeah. And we all just like backed up. We was like, what the fuck? We all like pointed at him like, let's run through his gap.
Dude, we were playing pickup football one time, and one of the things that almost made me throw up is two dudes like collided heads. Like just like straight up hit heads, and both of their noses like exploded, and they're both bleeding. But the fucking sound of these two dudes hitting, I could still hear
bone to bone.
Oh, dude, it was fucking like I was like,
dude, that happened to me when I was like, I didn't start this game. I usually was starting like my senior year playing rugby, and for some reason I didn't. And like 5 minutes in, I get subbed into the game, and I was like fucking amped. You know, I run in, I make a tackle. Dude, I get up 30 seconds. I crunched my nose like against this dude's like arm or whatever, it's his chest. My nose is gushing blood. I'm like, oh, fuck. I run to the sideline. My coach takes Vaseline on each thumb and just like shoves it up my nose. And he was like, all right, get back out there.
Jesus, what are you, Rocky in round 9?
Dude,
it's like some Mike Tyson shit.
Rugby's like soccer. Once you sub out, you can't go back in.
Really?
So yeah, it's like once you're out, you're out. So I was just like, hey, hold on. And
For real?
Yeah. The games kept playing. I run to the side, and they just like hit me up, and I went back in.
I would have been out. Yeah. I would have just been done.
I had like an insane. I was never like a tough guy, but like with injuries and stuff, I was always like just. I hated them, but I was always fine with it. Like I thought I broke my leg in a game. Someone collapsed on my knee, and I heard it like crack, 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 and I thought I shattered my like shin in half, and I ended up being fine. I didn't need surgery. I had to go to rehab or whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, I remember my coach was like, "Should I? Do you want to go to the hospital now with me? We're 3.5 hours away from school.
Go home and get a home cooked meal?
Yeah, or do you want to go home and your mom's going to make you spaghetti?" I was like, spaghetti, please. No, he was like, we could go to the hospital now. We're 4 hours from school. Or you can like take the team bus back, and we can go when you get back to the school. And I was like, yeah, I want to ride back with the team.
Wait, you were 4 hours from the hospital?
4 hours from like, I would go to the hospital and like.
Be 4 hours away from the crib.
Yeah, from like my dorm. Yeah. And I was like, I'll ride back with the team, and then I'll just go tonight. Dude, I got drunk on the bus on the way home.
Got a seat to yourself?
Drinking. Yeah, I had my leg up the whole time, ice on it.
That's nice.
Dude, I didn't go to the hospital the next day. I like drank the whole night with my friends.
Didn't even forgot you got injured. Yeah. Walked up the stairs to your room.
Dude, I felt great.
That'll fuck you up, though, with a leg injury. I've gotten shit-faced after hurting my leg.
Yeah.
And I'm just walking around. You don't feel shit. And then you wake up the next day. It's like 10 times worse.
Dude, my leg was...
you feel it all the way up to the hip. Yeah. You're like, oh, no.
Dude, my knee was the size of a basketball
drunk again
when I woke up the next day. It was fucking huge. Huge.
Start poking it with needles.
I was like, this is crazy. I went to the hospital. My girlfriend at the time brought me to the hospital, and she was like, they were like, when did this happen? I go, yesterday at like 3 o'clock. And he goes, why didn't you come in? I go, hanging out with the fellas. I was like, what?
So you like tell your girl to leave? Like, come on, Doc. You know, I was with the boys.
The boys, come on.
You're like, he daps you up.
I get it.
You get pretty fucked up though, didn't you?
You're like, you had a fun one. All right. Well, thank God you're here now. All right. We'll do what we can to save this knee.
We might have to amputate. I'm like, what?
Listen, bad news is we taking a knee. Good news is you got homies. They down to drink.
You had some fun.
Let your boys be your crutches. All right.
Oh my God, dude, that was wild. All right, dude, we're over. We're gonna wrap up.
All right,
you good, dude. Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
Tell the
thanks for
people
coming out here,
where they can find you. This will be out in like I think two weeks, maybe. We got a little backlog, so if you got anything coming up, where they can find you, Instagram.
Yeah, I mean Instagram, Napoleon Emill, NapoleonEmill. I'll be doing. I'll be in the Rowley Comedy Festival.
Nice.
Skank Fest. I'll be down in Vegas doing that.
Hell yeah,
just dropped a set on OnlyFans, so check that out.
Whoa.
And yeah, I think I got one coming soon from 800 Pound Gorilla. Like they're doing like short sets.
Nice,
so yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I got some of that stuff coming. So
Well, fuck yeah! Thanks for coming, man. Definitely check out Napoleon and follow him and watch some of his stand up out there online. He's fucking hilarious.
Thank you. You too.
Absolutely, brother. You can find me on Instagram at Ray Zawodni. YouTube is Ray Zawodni as well. I got a special coming out October 11th on Rise Zone Comedy. And you can see me here on Wednesdays with my man, Dylan Krasinski. Dylan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Dylan Krasinski on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and at Troublemakers on all those sites. We post clips 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 times a week. Go follow Napoleon, and we'll see you next week, baby. Good night.
Bye.